After a great walk-off win yesterday by the Toronto Blue Jays, they come into today's ballgame with Aaron Sanchez on the mound, looking to turn the tides here in his last start of the month of June, and he really didn't. Blue Jays lose 7-6 against the Kansas City Royals and lose Game 3 of the 4-game set. They still have a chance to win the series, though, tomorrow afternoon. But let's talk about this game. And when I saw the lineup to start the day, I'm like, I don't know if I'm a huge fan of it. No Randall Grichuk, no Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and the way Danny Jansen's been hitting lately, he's now out of the lineup. That didn't look too good. So in draws Brandon Drury, in draws Luke Maile, and Justin Smoke slides into the 2-hole. Now, usually I'd be kind of upset about that because Vladdy is Vladdy, but the way Justin Smoke's swinging the bat today, I'm not going to complain. But Tasker Hernandez again struggles. You know, he went 1 for 4 in the game, but still struggling lately. Look, the story of this game was Aaron Sanchez. I'm sorry. The Jays go down early in the game in the top of the second inning. Lucas Duda rips a double to right field, and Cuthbert comes in to score. And on that play, it was a double clutch from Brandon Drury in right field, and then a little bit of an off throw from Kevin Biggio from second base to home that allowed Cuthbert to score. If that throw from Drury was not double clutch and he picked up and gunned it in right away, and that throw from Biggio was on line, they would have had him at the plate. But that's when the relays from the outfield to home plate, that's why everyone gets so fired up about them. They're not easy. They almost have to be picture perfect for it to happen. And they wasn't today, and they scored the run and had the 1-0 lead. But we go to the bottom of the second base, and the Jays have guys who are second and third, 2 out, for Luke Maile. And he hits a pop up down the right field line, and we're like, you gotta be kidding. And Jorge Soler loses it in the sun. He kind of like shields himself away. Ball drops behind him. 2-run score. The Jays got a 2-1 lead. And we're like, all right, that's what you want to see. Next up, Eric Sogard, because when Luke Maile goes all the way around to third, he ends up getting his first career triple. Something like, it was a greasy kind of triple, but he ends up at third base, and there's 2 out. Eric Sogard at the dish, and I'm like, I want that run. Eric Sogard punches the ball into left field for a base hit. Maile comes in. The Jays got a 3-1 lead. Next up, Justin Smoke. He crushes one deep and gone to right field, his first smoke bomb since coming off the IL, and it's a 5-1 Jays lead. We've talked about it many times before. When other teams make mistakes, you have to capitalize. And the Jays, after the I wouldn't say miscue by Jorge Soler, but losing the ball out there in right field, after those 2-runs score, the Jays score 3 more. They had a 5-1 lead. And Aaron Sanchez only giving up 1 run in the first 2 innings. Hey, it's not too bad. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. And Aaron Sanchez leads off that inning with back-to-back walks. Then gives up an RBI single to Lopez, then an RBI single to Gordon, then an RBI single to Hunter Dozier, then an RBI single to Jorge Soler. I sound like a broken record, but that's exactly what happened there today. And then he gets Cuthbert to ground into a double play. That's nice. Run still comes in to score, and then he strikes out Duda to end the inning. But nonetheless, you just had a 5-1 lead. You got the luck of the sun helping you out. Then the Jays got 3 more. You had a 5-run inning and had a 4-run lead. And just like that, Sanchez gives up 5 of his own, and it's now a 6-5 Royals lead. This guy is downright awful. Now, I've not blown up with Aaron Sanchez at all this year, just because of the fact, we know what he can do. But watching him out there today, it's embarrassing. Watching a team that we hear is not a great offensive team and bang around Aaron Sanchez like he's a minor leaguer. And for Aaron Sanchez, it's not really his entire starts that kill him. It's usually 1 or 2 innings. You go back to the last start, he had 4 great innings, and then he was terrible for 2. Today, he was all right. He was pretty good in the first inning, got a nice double play to end the inning, and then in the second, he gave up the run, but only 1, and it wasn't a big damage. But then they gave up 5 in the next inning. It just kills you. It deflates your team. Then the Jays go basically 1, 2, 3 in the next inning. Hernandez gets on base because of an error, and that was because the catcher and the first baseman crash into each other. And then you go to the top half of the 4th inning, and then he walks Maldonado to lead off the inning. Then Arteaga hits a single, and then they pull him out of the game. Because they're like, all right, we've seen enough. This is ridiculous. Aaron Sanchez, guys, look, I try to have faith in this guy. You know, I see him go 4 great innings against the New York Yankees, and then he has a couple rough innings, and I blame Luke Maile for that home run pitch. Who are you going to blame today? We heard earlier in the season Aaron Sanchez calling out his team saying, we need to be better. These guys, we need to be better. I'm doing everything, blah, 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 all this garbage out of his mouth. And I was one that backed him up saying, well, yeah, the team was bad behind him. And yeah, the offense has been downright terrible. But now, everybody in the offense has every right to get mad at him. Because they give him a 5 spot, and he just goes, and just craps all over it, and gives them 5 more for you. You're facing a team, like I said, who is apparently not a great offensive ball club. And he goes 3 innings, gives up 7 hits, walks 4, and gives up 6 runs. This guy's ERA not too long ago was in the 3s and in the late 2s, and we're like, man, him and Stroman are having great years. And then the month of June hits, and bang, he gets, he had a 3.75 ERA going into June. Nonetheless, his ERA in June is north 12. He is the first Blue Jay in franchise history to lose all 6 starts, decisions. Lose all 6 in the L column. Now, I'm not talking no decisions, but they lose in the game. No, I'm talking about physical L's in his games. He has pitched 6. He got 6 losses. I think it's all 6. I might be missing 1. But nonetheless, he's the first Blue Jay to have 6 losses in a month. I think it is. That's awful. Remember I told you about that 3.75 ERA going into the month? Leaving the month of June. His ERA is 6.31. These are things you see guys get sent down to the minor leagues with. Now, with Aaron Sanchez and the whole waiver thing not being an opportunity, what do? Well, you know what? If I'm Charlie Montoyo, and I'm not, obviously, I put Aaron Sanchez in the damn bullpen. Whether he likes it or not. Because you think to yourself, and you can even say it to Aaron Sanchez, and if he says, no, I'm not a bullpen guy, I'm a starter. Well, then I'll turn around and say, okay, so what does your 12 ERA in the month mean? You want a big contract. You're a guy that's going to want a big contract in the next year or so, right? That's where we all know. But if you pitch to a 12 ERA, no one's going to grab you. You'll be getting a minor league deal. So either you go to the bullpen, you figure it out there, then maybe we try it again as a starter. That's my opinion. And if he doesn't like that, you ship him off for a bag of balls. Or you even fire him on waivers, and if you lose him, good riddance. But for Aaron Sanchez, we have seen now over the month span, he has not been good. Now, if there's whole superstitions about him being half decent in the month of July, because it's a new month, maybe. You give him 1 start then. And if he's bad, you can it. Because we can't take any more of this. Watching guys like Marcus Stroman, for the most part, go out there and feel good, even though he was probably hurting for most of his start yesterday. For the most part, he's been great. Trent Thornton, other than his last start, has been awesome. Clayton Richard, he's been awful, but what'd you expect him to be? For Aaron Sanchez, is he a part of the future? I think every start he goes out there and he pitches like this, it's more and more of, no, he's not. We have guys like Alek Manoah, guys like TJ Zook, Nate Pearson, Ryan Baracki, Trent Thornton, maybe Marcus Stroman, right here ready to go. And if you're going to continue to can it, you ain't being here much longer. It's just my opinion on the whole Aaron Sanchez situation, guys. It really is. So you're down 6-5. It's only a 1-run ball game still. And Kingham gives you pretty darn good innings. He does a good job in his 3 1/3. Gives up a solo shot to Jorge Soler. And unfortunately, that ends up being the winning run, really. It's a 7-6 game, and that made it 7-5. And then the bottom half of that inning, Justin Smoke comes up again and crushes another smoke bomb. 2 in the game for Smokey. Great to have him back. And it makes it a 7-6 game in the 5th. Lots of ball to play, but the Jays offense can't get anything going the rest of the way, and they lose 7-6. So other than Aaron Sanchez's awful performance on the mound, Kingham goes 3 1/3, 3 hits, 1 run, and 1 run, no walks, and a strikeout. He pitched really well in those 3 1/3. I'm not going to complain whatsoever about his job. He did an awesome job with the bullpen there. I was really impressed. And Joe Biagini, guys, he did a great job. Inning and 2/3, no hits, 1 walk, and a couple strikeouts. He was awesome in his 2/3 of the inning. And Derek Law, I thought it was going to be a massacre there in the top of the 9th inning. He gives up a walk, I think it was, to lead off the inning. Then he gives up a single. No, sorry, excuse me. He gives up a double, I think it was, and then ground ball to short for Freddie Galvis. He throws it to third to Eric Sogard because Vladdy has the day off, and he misses the tag. Now they're running at first and third with nobody out. And he gets the strikeout of Hunter Dozier. Then he gets another strikeout, and they're still in second on the play. Luke Maile fakes the throw. Whoever the heck it was at third base kind of starts a little break to home. Maile instantly throws the ball to third, instantly back to home. They tag him out, double play. The inning is over, and Derek Law is jacked up. Why not? First, third, nobody out, and you find a way to get out of it because of some good pitching and some great defense. And you go to the bottom of the ninth, and they bring in Vladimir Guerrero Jr. to pinch hit, and he walks to lead off the inning. Great at bat by Vladdy, I gotta say. He fouled off a tough pitch up in the zone, battled, gets a walk in the inning, and then Maile, as much as I bash him, and I'm not too sure I wanted him hitting in that spot, he does a great job bunching the ball over, getting Vladdy up to second. But then Sogard flies out, and Justin Smoke pops out on the infield in foul territory to end the ball game. Jays lose 7-6. So offensively, what do we see from this team today? Well, Eric Sogard went 2 for 5 with an RBI, had his 2 hits there early in the ball game, and then Justin Smoke was 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs, obviously on the 2 home runs, and scored a couple runs. Great job by Smokey there today. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. continues hitting the ball well. He was 1 for 4 in the game. Again, one other time he had a great line drive, but caught by Jorge Soler there in right field. A great diving play by him. Biggio went 0 for 4 in the game. Kind of a rough one for him. He had a lot of deep fly balls, but not enough distance to get out of the yard. Hernandez 1 for 4. Tellez 1 for 4. And Galvis 0 for 3 with a walk. And Luke Maile 1 for 3. Scattered 8 hits. They had 6 runs. And, ideally the errors did help for the Toronto Blue Jays. And you lost the game. Oh, well. All right, the finale of the series, guys, goes tomorrow on Canada Day. This beard will be gone tomorrow. Well, it's going to be gone very shortly after this video, but tomorrow it'll be gone for Canada Day and kind of just getting rid of it because the playoffs are over. Free agency is starting for the Leafs and Raptors. That is the starting point of a new year, so that's the whole spiel there. Tomorrow, Clayton Richard and Glenn Sparkman get the mound on Canada Day. Not your prototypical ace matchup there on Canada Day, but it is the Canada Day game. 107 first pitch, and is it going to be an open dome? We're going to have to see because of the weather. We're not too sure. But let's hit up the minor leagues here before we wrap this baby up here. And in AAA today, they lost 10-4. However, 10-4 over and out. Bo Bichette, after a couple rough games, his couple last games have been kind of difficult to watch, but he went 3 for 4 with a run scored and a walk there this afternoon. Great to see there for Bo Bichette. The team only had 8. He had 3 of them, so it's great to see there for Bo. And on the mound, again, I talked about this guy, I think it was in either in the last video or the video prior. Zach Jackson in the bullpen, he went 2 innings, gave up 1 hit, no runs, no walks, and a strikeout. ERA dropped to 3. And I checked it out, guys. His ERA in his last 10 games is 0.54. That is not including the game he pitched today. So keep an eye on this kid. He has been unbelievable. I think he's like 20. He's 25, so he's not really He's 24 years of age. Not a very young guy now, or is he 23 still? But his birthday is His birthday is Christmas. I could be wrong. You guys can do the math if he's 24 or 20. I think he's 23, actually, now that I think about it. But could be wrong. All that stuff. You guys can go nuts. He's 24. I'm going to do the math, and I'm going to say that. If I'm wrong, I look like an idiot, but who cares? That's the normal around here. But great job by Zach Jackson in his 2 innings of work. I was really impressed with him, and I continue to be impressed with him. Down there in New Hampshire, they lost 7-5 to the Trenton Thunder, and Forrest Wall went 2 for 5. Great to see him swinging the bat a little bit better lately with an RBI. Santiago Espinal had 1 for 5, but he had 3 RBIs in the game. Warmouth went 0 for 3. Tough day for him. And Riley Adams went 2 for 4 with a couple runs scored. Good to see him swinging the bat a little bit better lately. And Chad Spanberger with a 1 for 4 game and a run scored. All right, and that's it there for the New Hampshire Fisher Cats. Dunedin doesn't play till 5:30. And in Lansing, former Blue Jay top 5 or top 6 round pick, something like that. Sean Weimer has had a really rough start to his year there in Lansing, but not a bad outing. He picks up the loss there today in the 3-0 loss, but the offense doesn't do anything for them. He goes 5 2/3, 7 hits, 3 runs, only 2 were earned. Didn't walk a batter and struck out 7 guys. So his ERA is still 6.66. That's not a very good ERA to have, but for a few different reasons. But again, it's progress from a young pitcher. Again, he's a 97, so he's still very young, 21, 22 years of age. So keep growing, young man, and if he has a good end to the season, I don't know. We're going to have to see what happens with Sean Weimer. But for the bats-wise, Gabriel Moreno went 0 for 3 in the ball game. Had a tough game there at the plate. Griffin Conine went 1 for 4 with a couple strikeouts. Still hitting only 304. What am I talking about there? Still a guy I think should hit Dunedin by the end of the season. But we're going to have to wait and see how it all plays out. And Vancouver's playing right now, and Bluefield doesn't play till later, so I'm not going to update you guys on those games. All right, so we'll go back to the big league club. And as we talked about, the finale of the 4-game series against the Kansas City Royals goes tomorrow afternoon, 1:07 first pitch on Canada Day. If you guys enjoy this video, and please smack it a like because it is rough baseball right now. Clayton Richard, Glenn Sparkman are the starting pitchers there tomorrow afternoon. So, you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. You guys enjoyed the video and did not enjoy the way this game ended. Smack the like button to appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below. What are your guys' thoughts on the game? What are your guys' thoughts on Aaron Sanchez? What the heck should they do with Sanchez? I mean, look, I want to like the guy. But with an ERA of over 6.3, and he's looked awful in the month of June, do you give him one start in July and hope the calendar turns for the guy? Or do you just throw him right in the bullpen, look for Thomas Pannone, who's doing pretty well there in Buffalo? Do you bring him in for a spot start and see how he does kind of thing? I don't know. Or do you wait on Ryan Barucki to get healthy? By the way, I totally forgot to mention this. Julian Merriweather got acquired in the Josh Donaldson trade. Has been dealing with Tommy John surgery. He's been out all year, but he pitched his first game there at Dunedin yesterday. Now, didn't do a great job. He went 4 innings. He had like 4 hits, 3 runs, something like that. But it's great to see him back on the mound, and a guy like TJ Zook, who I think might finish off the year with this team. Depending on trades and whatnot, if Stroman gets traded, if Sanchez gets moved to the bullpen, whatnot happens, if Richard gets traded and someone actually wants him, then so be it. But just a little heads up there about Julian Merriweather. All right, so you know what, guys? Comment down below everything you wanted about this team, and I'll talk to you guys, as much as I'm going to talk to you guys tomorrow, Jay's Edition, but the next couple days and the next week, really, might be insane for Toronto sports with the Raptors and Kawhi Leonard, the Leafs and Mitch Marner. I don't know what the heck's going to happen. 6 o'clock in about an hour and 9 minutes from right now, the NBA free agency opens up, and it's going to be crazy. Kevin Durant's going to decide where he's signed. Looks like the Nets are going to close in on Kyrie Irving. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. Looks like Kemba's going to Boston. It's going to be nuts, free agency. Now, will Kawhi decide today? No, probably not, because he has a meeting with the Clippers and the Lakers or something on July 2nd, so I'm assuming it's going to wait until then. Unless he's already made up his mind, he's staying in Toronto, then he'll sign a deal. I don't know what that's going to happen, but we're going to have to wait and see how it all plays out, though, guys. I'll talk to you guys Raptors and Leafs edition at some point. And as for the Blue Jays, like we talked about, they play the finale of the series against the Kansas City Royals there tomorrow afternoon on Canada Day, 1:07 first pitch at Rogers Center. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Talk to you guys then.